710 ESPN Seattle presents Bob and Groz's One More Thing.
Powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
He's been much better than you think. Zach Miller is a guy that was one of the big offseason acquisitions for the Seahawks. Came over 2 years in a row of 60-plus catches. He's a Pro Bowler, so you thought, boy, this guy offensively is going to put up huge numbers. He hasn't. 18 catches. He's only been targeted 29 times the entire season. But I maintain he's had a much bigger impact that you could ever see in a stat line. I mean, this guy has played left tackle, right tackle, fullback. I mean, he's been kind of the everything guy for a young offensive line and an injured offensive line.
Yeah, and he's a great blocker, too. And I think that's, Cable knew that when Tom Cable came up from Oakland. He made a strong recommendation to go get Zach Miller in free agency. And I think that was kind of a surprise at the time because I don't remember thinking, okay, the Seahawks really need to get a tight end.
And they had Carlson.
Right, yeah, Carlson, Cameron Moore, very promising. But, I think, and then remember during camp we had Dominique Byrd and Andrew McCoy, and that was a real, tight race there. But, I think it was a lot to do with the blocking, and that's why you paid him. And so some of the lack of, I guess, production from Zach Miller is the fact that, you do have to leave him in to block. You're using him in the running game to block. But also you've seen some receivers and some weapons like Justin Forsett, who we had on the show today, that just have kind of disappeared a little bit. Not so much because they're having a bad year. It's just because there's just not enough to go around. The offense isn't efficient enough. So, I think Zach Miller is going to be a good, strong signing for years to come. And this year is doing his job, and that's blocking.
You know what I like in talking to both those guys is they both seem at peace with their role. We asked them both, hey, are you frustrated? You're used, especially in Zach's case, you're used to doing a lot more offensively. You're used to being that Pro Bowl tight end with 60-plus catches, and now you're not that guy here. You could understand frustration setting in, and they both seem, no. They seem to be really buying into what's happening.
Yeah, and that's really nice, right? I mean, because, you see the reaction from, I guess it's not fair to say with Deshaun Jackson in Philly, because he really is, he needs to get signed. He needs to get paid. But, you can see that sometimes where guys get a little bit selfish and worry about it. And you don't get the feeling that that's happening on this team. So, yeah, that is nice. And you have to make it about the team and not about yourself. And I think the first thing that Zach Miller said when we asked him that was, hey, I'm focused on the wins, and that's it.
So if you think he's having a bad year, you should really watch the game closely, see what he's doing.